I'm at Skyline Vista now. You can actually see my car way far off there. And here's two benches, and here's the view. Looks like there's a little trail down there that goes to like a little viewpoint, but oh nice. This is 94, looking east there. That's the way back to camp. And Medora is somewhere out there. And you can actually see some of the road that goes into the park. It actually swerves around and then crosses 94 over some bridges and comes out here.
Due to a landslide, the loop was closed at one point, so I decided to head up to Buck Hill and turn around there.
Coming up here momentarily actually worked out for me. When I pulled up, there are tons of people on top of the hill going up and down, probably at least 15, maybe 20 people, and half the loop was filled with cars. Now there's only 3 cars, and I'm one of them, so there's probably maybe 4 people up there. We'll see. Let's head on up. From the second hill, I actually went way down there to see if there was another view of the valley down there. It's okay. Super thirsty, I can barely talk. This view's better. I think the first spot is definitely better, where all the rocks were. Still amazing. Good morning. It's another day here at Theodore Roosevelt National Park. Today, I'm going to drive home later today, so today I'm just going to do a couple of short hikes in the morning when it's still not blisteringly hot. It's 8 a.m. and it's already 72 Celsius, or 72 Fahrenheit, about 22 Celsius, and it is clear as can be and super sunny, and the sun's warm. So it's going to be a warm day. It's supposed to be in the 90s later, so I want to get this knocked out and then start driving home. But here I'm hitting the Petrified Forest. I'm just going to go to the northern forest and come right back. It should only be like 1.5 miles, not too far. But it was quite an interesting drive up here. Oh, here's the gate. It's always fun hitting these gates and going, how do you open this thing? I was looking at it, and I see a spring, and I was like, do you push it? Nothing. It looked like you lift it, and it lifts right up. The spring makes it so it doesn't weigh that much. Pretty cool. Never seen one that lifts like this before. All right, we're off. I was trying to have the minimum amount of contact possible with that gate. Trailhead registry. All right, so the junction to the north and south is a half mile from that sign. So we are actually heading the right way. So I figure I'll tell you a little story about how I got here. Now, make sure you go to the park and pick up a brochure, like a newsletter. That'll give you the real directions how to drive here. If you try to take Google Maps, if you take Google Maps from the highway, it's gonna have you miss the actual turn and have you try to turn into the middle of the grass. It's just like there aren't even any tire tracks. It just says turn right here into the grass. So that's not gonna work, and it's way past the turnoff. So don't use Google Maps. Trust the brochure. Now, if you're at Buffalo Gap Campground like I was, and you punch it into Google Maps, it says, oh yeah, there's a 6-mile dirt drive straight from the campground area. So you bypass the highway and everything, and it sounds great because you got to drive 7 miles on this dirt road anyway. Sounds great, so I took it. It takes you into private land, I think. I'm like 80% sure it was private land, I'm not sure. And then it has you turn right into the grass again, like in the middle of nowhere. So Google Maps, don't follow it at all to the Petrified Forest trailhead. If you're at Buffalo Gap, just take the highway and come back and get off on River Road to the grasslands. Do not follow Google Maps. All right, so we are going. What's interesting is I saw a sign showing a bunch of different flowers out here at Buck Hill, and it said those big yellow ones are sunflowers. They're like this big. I always thought sunflowers are really big, but I guess wild sunflowers. I didn't see any seeds in them. I wonder how big the seeds are from those little wild sunflowers. I'm gonna try to peek at each one, see if any of them have seeds. We turned left at the junction, so we're headed towards the north Petrified Forest. So the grasslands area and the way to drive here, it's funny, along 94 you can only get off heading west. So you have to go west and you get off, and the only way to get onto 94 is heading east. So it seems like the only way to visit here is if you're from Medora. Otherwise you gotta backtrack a bunch. And I came from the west, so I did have to go east, turn to the junction to get to Medora, turn back, drive west, and then pull in. So be aware of that. Why, I do believe this is the Petrified Forest here. Big chunks of it, nothing like standing, but you can tell they're logs. They're definitely not rocks, or they look like logs. You can see all the striations, and you can see like the branching. Look like you can get splinters off them. Pretty cool, big chunks of them. A big old pile of them right here. Holy cow. There's big flakes of it chipped off. Oh my gosh. It's so odd because it's so heavy, but it just looks like a piece of wood. Look at that. It's so heavy. It's big chunks of them. I bet people break them off and take them home with them. I saw one lady take a big chunk of rock earlier today. Ah, wow. Big. And there's just flakes of it everywhere. Holy cow, that is totally a log. Oh, so heavy. Even these little pieces are so heavy. I mean, not super heavy, but definitely wood. So cool, huh? Wow. So there are chunks here. I saw two other hikers. They said if I go further up, there's going to be huge ones that are much taller. So let's go a little further. They said half mile. I don't know if they meant half mile from where I talked to them or half mile from where these are. Because the half miles, I'm already a half mile from where they are, or they were. Wow, there's like just piles of them here and there. Watch out for the buffalo patties. There's more just here and there everywhere. It's weird why they're just chunks like that. Why do you suppose that is? Big chunks. Holy cow, they're everywhere. They're scattered out. Yeah, I think this is the trunk portion of a tree. You could totally see the bark coming up. I guess it makes sense that the trunk portion is what gets petrified because it remains in the soil after the top part kind of dies away. Or if it falls off. So well preserved. That's amazing. I mean, look at all the bark. It's amazing. I'm so glad that this section isn't easily accessible, super easily accessible. As long as not too many people come here, these can be preserved. Get too many people here, they're just gonna keep taking chunks off. Look at this guy too. It's crazy. It's crazy. Here's a really good one. Rabbit. Rabbit, why are you coming towards me? Hey rabbit, do you not see me? Is your home here? The rabbit's right behind the bush. Eating grass is like spaghetti. He just like goes right in his mouth. That's a weird rabbit. He's eating more grass. Let's see how much closer he'll let us get before he dashes. Gosh, we're like 4 feet away. He's still eating. What is going on? So as I was saying, this is a great example of a tree actually in the dirt. It's vertical and you can see the bark. It's amazing. I wonder what kind of trees these are. Amazing. Oh gosh. I've never seen that before. Petrified wood actually in the dirt, like the way they were when they were alive. It's astonishing. There are just pieces of petrified wood everywhere, even little trees here. Everywhere. It's really nice. They put a post right in the middle of them all, so you can kind of walk around and explore and get better looks at these and appreciate them, but not get totally lost. That's It's astonishing. A lot of it actually just crumbled over weather, I guess, and just kind of fell down. Gosh, oh, they're really embedded. Just astonishing. Just the weight on them. This one just looks like any old tree trunk, just kind of partially there, partially not, and just in the way. But you can totally tell. You can see the trunk spreading out, and it's just in there, and you can see the vertical structure of the tree. It's amazing. It's so well preserved. It's astonishing. Like, this one's a crazy one. It's like sitting on a bunch of dirt. It must have been buried like this for thousands, millions of years, and it's been eroding, and eventually this dirt's gonna fall off, and it's gonna just fall somehow or another. Maybe it'll just slide off, but I bet that chunk weighs a ton, a few tons. I bet as wood it weighed a few tons, but as petrified wood. Oh my gosh. Astonishing. Yeah, it doesn't really let you down at all. This is a trail right here. There's a post and there's giant petrified logs just here and there scattered both sides. Some of them look amazingly like trees. Some are just gnarled, like the weird bristlecone, twisty type trees. But this one is like straight, and you can see the structures. You can tell that that was the trunk of the tree, or the root structure, and then that's the up portion. It's amazing. I'm amazed. I'm amazed. Look at this guy laying on its side. Crazy. Here comes an amazingly well preserved chunk. I wonder if it just eroded like this, because it's perfectly vertical. It's like a little volcano too. But what the funny thing is, there's a hole in the top, so there's plants growing in it. Yeah, it's only a few inches deep, but there's dirt, so there's a bush growing, like a sage bush in there. Perfectly vertical. And the awesome part is the dirt towards the base is eroded, so you kind of get to see the bottom. That's crazy. Oh man. Here's another trunk part, but it's crooked, but you could totally see the bottom. It's just all exposed. What a big chunk of wood. That is amazing. You could see the holes. Huh. Astonishing. So those are the gaps between the roots, I guess. Wow. This thing is so cool. Oh, here's a nicely preserved one that's still embedded in the ground, vertical, and you can see a trunk growing out the side, hollow in the middle. Amazing. Holy cow, look at this. Split in the middle, just like a normal tree. I mean, I guess they are trees, but it's astonishing. Look at these big chunks down here. Oh, it's not as heavy as I thought, making sure no bugs. Wow. Astonishing. It's just amazing how many big chunks of wood there are, and so well preserved. And these look like people deliberately dug them up to leave them like that. I'm gonna have to look it up. I mean, they look like people put them on a little pedestal. Like people dug it out and preserved the pedestal, but I think it's completely natural. It's astonishing that that's natural. That's crazy. It's crazy. There's chunks everywhere. Doesn't that look like a pedestal? I mean, look at it. It's a tiny little pedestal too. Look how narrow it is. Nature is so incredible sometimes. There's one on a pedestal that kind of looks like a mushroom because of its shape. But again, perfect pedestal for it to just sit and everyone to admire from afar. Look at the texture on there. Amazing. And around here, there's all kinds of weird other just rock structures as well. Like the little ball thing over there. I saw this rock structure when I was going down the trail, and I knew I had to get a better close up. Look how flat the top is, or level, not level, straight. I mean, isn't that amazing? It just, you could see all the little bulbous top, like buns, and as we come along here, it's, I mean, they're really aligned. And down here, look at that straight little base. And it gets narrow at the bottom. It's so weird. And then it kind of spreads out. I mean, it looks like someone carved it as a piece of art, right? There's actually a rock way over there. It looks like a gigantic prairie dog standing up looking around. It's huge. You kind of lose your scale because you see things like this and you think, that's something I could see from like hundreds of yards away, and it's like a big mountain, but it's only like 6-7 feet tall. All along here you see a kind of a maze of trails. It's just a muddy mess, or it's not muddy anymore, it's all dirt, but just a mess. And I guess you just pick the way that's better for you. On the way down I thought I was going to slip several times because it was so steep, but fortunately it's not like gravel covered, it's kind of packed hard dirt. Well, I guess that's the trail in the middle there. Maybe? Maybe that way's easier. Let's go that way. I came this way. Alright, I came the way on the left and it was really steep. So I'm going to go up this way because the post is here and maybe it's not as steep. Maybe it's, oh, the footing's not bad. It's really rough, so you get good traction. Whereas like in Table Mountain, it was just gravel covering everything, or like dirt covering everything. It was really slippery. This is basically mud that is caked in the sun, so it's really hard and there's a lot of traction. It's pretty nice. Does that look like a chair or a throne or something? Maybe chip off this part and it'll be smooth with the back, and you get views of this to your side. It's a nice throne of sorts, a stone throne over a petrified forest. Okay, I spent way more time there than I thought I was going to. Hey, look, there's a dog running around off leash in a national park up ahead. But it's getting hot. It's getting really hot. Sun's getting stronger. Put the leash on the dog, but it's still a national park. And there's a sign back there. I don't see a vest on him. Hello. Huh. Yep. I do what I want. It's a national park. Whatever. Okay, back to the car, and on the way here, there are several people going that way, at least 10 other people, so it's actually getting busier. I really do hope all these people are responsible and aren't grabbing chunks of wood. I'm willing to bet a lot of people do grab it, so if they had some actual like park rangers here with binoculars watching them and they could just snag them, if they just find everybody that snags some rocks, they would make so much money they could maintain a park for so long. I wish they would start enforcing the rules more. As far as like the dog thing too, pulling over into the grass to go look at things, just all these rules, if the park rangers enforce them, they could make enough money to help maintain the park, so they don't always have to fight for funding. All they have to do is enforce the current rules. That's it. Like walking on Mesa Arch. I talked to a park ranger, all they said was they can ask him to get off. What is that? They should fine him. Like $500 for potentially ruining a, once in a lifetime natural experience like that. Oh well, that's all they have to do. Enforce current rules or get rid of them. Oh yeah, now that Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, I'm gonna head east now towards home, and the Painted Canyon Visitor Center is right on the way. So I'm gonna go in there, actually do the little nature trail. It's 9:30. It took me an hour and a half. I was hoping I would spend an hour at most here, but of course I get carried away by things I see. But I hope to go to Painted Canyon, do a little bit of hike there, and then be on the road at least by 10:30, 11. And I hope to drive at least until it gets darker, because it's going to be hot the whole time the sun is out. It's going to be hot. It's 82 now, and it's already 9:30. It was 82 the high yesterday, but today's going to get in the 90s, so it's going to be pretty hot. But yeah, I hope to hit camp tonight. I don't know where exactly. Maybe some grasslands on the eastern side of North Dakota. But if it's not 6 by the time I hit there, I'm just going to keep going, because I really want to keep going until the sun is much lower in the sky, just so it will be cooler at night. I think last night the lowest it got was 70 degrees, which is the warmest night I've had ever, I think, on this trip so far, because most of the time I've been spending it above 6,000 feet. So, oh well, I'll talk to you later. Yeah, I'm at the Painted Canyon Visitor Center now, and this parking lot has a lot of cars here because it's right off the highway. There's even a gigantic truck here. I guess it's like a scenic area, rest area, so people just pull in. There's no like national park fee that I've seen yet, but there is a sign that says national park, but it's like a rest area though. It's really nice rest area with beautiful views. Oh, there's someone down there. Oh, that must be the nature trail. It's super windy. I hope you can hear me. I turned the microphone level down because it was starting to max out, but you won't be able to hear me. Oh, there we go. See what happens when I'm talking? I just like don't pay attention, but I'm off to the nature trail. This is 0.9. It's a loop and back, so it should be pretty easy, and everybody does it, so it's not like I'm gonna get lost or anything. Although I did miss the almost missed the entrance. Wow, there's lots of viewpoints here and there. Painted Canyon Nature Trail. Steeper than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was just going to be an easy loop, but we're really going down. It's not as windy down here. Alright, pretty soon into the trail there's a fork for a scenic area, or is it a loop? The loop junction. I don't know, I'm just winging everything. I have no idea what's going on. There's little forks here and there. Oh wow, good views. Oh, you could see people up there. Oh, you could see people up there. I'm in their shot now. And there are the views. Oh, the grasshoppers are going crazy right now. Oh, there's a bench down there. Still trucking down the trail. The people I saw going down are coming back up, so I don't know if dead ends and they have to return, or I don't know what the deal is. I didn't see the bench though, so I guess I went a different way down. So I guess that makes sense. If the way I saw them go down was the way I didn't take, I'll be hitting the way they went down later when it loops. Ew, look at this fresh mud. And a dog stepped right through it. Somebody got a messy dog. Nice short easy loop, 0.9 miles, not bad. Nothing spectacular, I guess. Yeah, nothing crazy on the hike, super crazy on the hike so far. The views from the viewpoint's really nice, so it's definitely worth stopping, at least for that. And the hike's good for a little exercise. Stretch out your legs. A lot of people though. Ooh, this is cool. I sometimes wonder why I think certain rock structures are cool. Like, is it because it's ingrained on us to look for signs of water? So when you see like water-worn surfaces, that you get excited because there's water there. Is it a ancient thing like that, or I'm not sure why we enjoy it so much. Like, same thing with sunsets and sunrises. It's beautiful colors, but why do we enjoy it so much? It's a mystery. I came where that girl is coming from, and I turned up to the overlook here, where there seems to be a network of trails, like branching out that way. I hear voices over there. There's people coming down over there. Up on top of here, there's a bench and there's a trail, and I see people going up, and it looks like it might connect over there somewhere and go back up. There's a parking area up there. Kind of confusing. Yeah, they're going up. Which way should I go? Oh my gosh, look at all the people here. 8, 13 people. Lots of people. I guess this is the way it came down. I think that's the way I came down. It's cool though, you get to get close up to these rocks. Okay, I recognize this part. This is where I actually passed. This is the way I came actually. I'm not on the official trail. I think I'm gonna go down and hook a right, because I don't think this is the official one. And then I'll connect to that other one. And I bet it comes up to that spot that was a viewpoint, but could have been a trail. That's what I'll do. Confusing. I guess there's so many people come here, so many people walking around, that there are just super worn in trails everywhere. Back onto the trail, and I think this will go up and connect back to where I was, and then the trail's done.